All right, so what's going on, y'all? Another quick video on how to grease an excavator. So I'll be going through all of the points, but I guess I'll point out all the points now. So anything that has a pivot and moves, you want to grease it just to make sure that you don't have the friction to start wearing down on the metal. So a couple of points I'm pointing out. There's another one under there, but I can't get to it right now because I was trying to flip it up so that I can get to the pin at the top of that arm. But because it has a quick link on it, it's going to hit. It's extended, so I can't get all the way in. So a few things you're gonna need: grease gun. You'll need impact drill in case one of your fittings is stuck, and then you can throw on new grease fittings. I use something to kind of clean out around the fitting, just to make sure I'm not putting junk in there. So anything like that, I actually use some survey tape. So if I come across one that won't take grease, I'll throw the survey tape on it just so I can know to come back to that one and won't forget. My grease fittings are 7/16. So throw that. You can share the battery with that, but I normally have another battery out here. Grease rag and plenty of grease, and I got more up here if I need it. I had started greasing this thing with the grease that I used for my tractor and just didn't feel good about it. It was thinner than I wanted it to be for heavy equipment. And so switched to this right here. So you'll see some of these I've already started, but this is a little thicker, as you can see. So it'll have that red grease in. We'll just let it run for now, and the next time I grease it, I'll push that through. But grease rag, and yeah, so we dive in. So same fitting points on this side as on the other. Everything that moves or pivots will need grease. You can see all of that's caked up. Then the bottom of your boom, your swing arm, that's every 500 hours. And then inside here is a reservoir for your swing, so you got to get in there too. But that's every 500 hours. This is I showed in another video, but that's a little level that I put in here to figure out, so I can always know when I'm doing maintenance, confirm if I'm level or not. And I need to clean all this stuff out. But so that, and then you got a grease block up here that's used to get to the stuff at the top of the boom, so you got to keep going up there, and this will go down to the back, to these actually. So those are the points. We'll throw some grease in her and make sure the sheet is ready to take care of us at all times. So again, I already did this here with that tacky red. So those are good. We don't got to worry about those. I had done that. You can see it coming out a little bit, but yeah, it's you know, it's just thinner than I feel good about on something that's heavy. And so my approach is pretty simple, right? Throw grease in her until it start coming out. So once you can start seeing grease come out, you should be in pretty good shape. I know it's an eyeball judgment type thing, but that's what it is. On the excavator, I go with number 2 speed, just because these are pretty big joints, so they take a lot of grease, especially, you know, it's an older machine, so it's not as tight, and some of this stuff is, you know, you can't really shim it to take away the, you know, the looseness or the slop. So we'll go ahead and throw this one in here. I like this quick coupler just so I can know what's going on, and we'll fill her up till we see grease. So if you're taking grease, if it wasn't taking grease, you would be able to see it coming out right around the head, and just keep a close eye on it until you see the grease coming through. I can start to see something coming back in here, and once you see that dropping out, that old grease dropping out, you in business. So again, it's not as precise of a measurement as you want, but just use your judgment. And again, it's important to clean these zerks off so you don't get any trash down in there. If for some reason you got a zerk that's not taking grease, then I'll go ahead and replace it. So that one's taking grease, and again, I got it on 2, so it's coming out fast. And and just keep an eye on them. Obviously these things take a ton of grease. Start to see some coming up in here. So we're getting there. I'm gonna keep going until I see something oozing out, just because it seems like this is pretty dry. And I think she done took a whole, pretty much a whole thing. So that was way too dry. Take that off, that was way too dry. As you can see, well, you got some still coming out. But she towards the end of the road. But that was pretty much bone dry. You can see it starting to come out a little bit. And I'm just gonna push that all out just to make sure I don't got any extra. Try to get all of my grease out the line. But we'll throw a new tube in there. And you hear that air, you done for sure. So, I will let some air in there so it'll be easy to pull this out. Pull that out, lock it, left it loosey. And we're gonna throw another tube in her and get right back to work. So, I mean, you know, I try to stay on top of this. Obviously the 500-hour stuff with the swing bearing, it ain't nowhere around that stuff. You just, you know, and the system, it'll tell you. It's in the maintenance where we keep a track of, okay, where are we hours wise on that 500-hour swing bearing adjustment. But everything else, you know, once a day, depending on how long you were out there, would be ideal, just to keep everything down. These, you know, these costs, they're pretty cheap. I think these are like $6.50. Way cheaper to spend $6.50 on a couple things of grease than it is to spend a couple $1,000 trying to replace steel. So well worth the time and effort that goes into getting it up. So I always back this out a little bit, and then that goes in easier, and then that grease coming out, you can see. Then we close it. I should have did that first, actually. Should have closed that bleed line before I threw that in there, but it's all good. If not, the grease will start coming out, hand tighten, and you know, you're gonna make a little bit of mess, but try to keep it as clean as possible. And yeah, and just try to keep your gun as clean as possible. I know sometimes it's easy to keep moving, but that thing will get real greasy with time. And so got another tube in here, and we just keep the party moving. I'm gonna put a little bit more in here just because that was barely getting to a point where I was starting to see it push. Check it up there. Yeah, this one was bone dry, bro. So, I think we're in good shape on that one. I don't want to go overboard. So just moving around, one link at a time. I did this one so you can start to see, you can see the tacky rag coming out of there, so that's fine. I got another link up top here that get to. I don't need that. I think that's good. I can get to it. Let's see. But you just throw these in here, and you know, it's important that you go until you got everything out, so you can push all the old grease out and all of the debris and trash. So that ain't taking. So I'll back off the one because you get a little bit more pressure. Once that pressure go through, then it you can get it in there. So if you get stuck, step one is to back it down to one, right? Because one actually has more PSI pressure on it. You can start to see it coming out, and it'll push through. You probably just got a little bit of gunk stuck down in it. Throw it on one. If that doesn't bust it up, then you're probably gonna have to take the Zerk out, because it's stuck with trash in it. And so here's an example where this one's pretty dirty down here. I actually just noticed that I need to wrap this because it's rubbing, so I need to get some wrap for that. But this one, as you can see, is pretty filthy. And there's a lot of pressure that's, you know, I mean, these are pretty powerful machines. So if that thing rubs up against something and get a lot of dirt or debris in it, as you might imagine, these things can get packed pretty tight, pretty easy. So I just try to clean around it and make sure I got everything off of that head so I don't push any dirt down in it. And I'll stick, you know, I'll stick my little whatever I'm using on the rag, and you can get a little bit more precise, but you really focus mostly on that tip where all of the trash or debris might be sitting that you could potentially push down in there. And so got her locked. I'm taking grease on too, so we'll be fine. As you can see, I mean, there's just a lot of play in here, and it's starting to come out a little bit on the left hand side. And I see grease at the steel, I will back off. So got another one locked in. As I mentioned at the beginning, there's another fitting at the top of that arm, but I can't get to it. So I got to find another way to get up the boom and get to it. I got another one right here, so we'll clean that out. And I don't even see a fitting on here, so I'm not sure what the story is with that one. So that might need some investigation, boys. I might have lost a fitting. Might have lost a fitting in there, but we'll see. We shall see. But I'm pretty sure I need a fitting right there. So I will I'll come back to that one, and we'll keep the party moving. I got that one with the, I think I had started this one, and I can't remember, it don't look all that good, so I'm gonna touch it again just to be safe. But I don't see much of any grease coming out of that fitting. So we're gonna run it by just one more time to be safe. Taking grease. There she goes. Got it coming out here, so I'm back off. And don't be shy with it. I mean, you know, you're doing this to protect the equipment, so better to have more than you need than to be hurt. And this one, I'm good. I can see that coming out, so I got that one with the red tacky. Again, I got to get back in here soon to get that red tacky out, just because it's not and I might not be doing myself too much of a service by throwing this rag on the ground at all. But I'm gonna push that red tacky out soon. So I went through another tube, but I'll just keep pushing it until you hear the air, just to get the last little remnants out. You start to see it coming out the back. So actually, I think I'm good over there. I see it coming around the back. So as that pivots, it'll come out more. And then I got another one here. I think I'm running out of grease in this tube, but we're gonna keep pushing until I hear air. So you hear that resistance. It was clogged. But I got grease. Yeah, she running low. But I'm gonna keep pushing until I get air. Load another cartridge in, and then we get up there to that block. There's actually some fittings on the door as well, so I'll throw some grease in the door just to kind of keep that nice and easy. But we'll load her up one more time. Again, open up the airline. Let's do it this way. I don't want to get dirt down into that out of there. Lefty loosey. Get this out of here. Get back to it. As you can see, she takes plenty of grease. She need plenty of lube to get the job done. But it's good that so far I haven't had any fittings push back on me, so happy about that. No need to switch out any zerks. Always makes the day go a little easier when you don't got an extra headache. And I mean, you know, look, it takes a couple of minutes to get this done, but this is just part of general maintenance, so it will be far more time consuming if I was doing this by hand, like I had been. So back that off a little bit. Close my air bleeder valve. Get back to it. This thing got a Craftsman grease gun, got a little light on it, which is pretty convenient. I think I mentioned that on the other video, but every now and then I need to do something wrong hour where I got limited sunlight, and that comes in handy. Got that. I got that. Throw a little bit more in here just because it was coming out the back, but not necessarily the front. Never too much, and that's pretty much it. I'm gonna check up top to see if I need to put a new Zerk up there, but like I said, I already did these, but I'm gonna throw a little bit more in just to see how it held. And that's in good shape, just light grease. And once I get to 500 hours, I'll do another one on how to do your bearing and your reservoir. We'll jump up top, hit the block, hit the grease block, and we should be done. We should be finished. Now this, I just put this is a new line, so I might use a whole damn tube of grease just to fill that line up. But I'll wipe this off. I left my rag down the bottom, but wipe that off. Get my trash out the way. It's gonna be a minute because it's gonna be a minute because I gotta fill up that whole line with grease before it even hit that. And I might need a damn tube of grease, a whole tube of grease just to fill the line up. So, but in the meantime, we'll keep an eye on it just in case it go faster than I thought. And so it's easier when you're doing these if you got somebody with you that can tell you, keep an eye on it. And especially in the spots that you can't see, keep an eye on it to see where the grease come out. But we're gonna work with what we got right now. There we go. See it start coming out. So that ain't take too long. Better than I thought it was gonna be. All right, this one goes. See, this one goes. Where's that one going? See if I walk around here. See that coming out the other side. So that one comes up, down, back, around, boom. I think that's for this one. I think this is for the left arm. That's for the left boom over here. You can see it coming out a little bit, but not enough. I see it coming out right here. See that grease falling? So that's for the left one. Yeah. And then this should be for the top link up there, where the boom and the arm meets. But I'm almost out of grease, so I'm gonna keep an eye on that from here. There she go. We're good up there. 2 more. These ones, throw your grease in right here at the base of that boom. So this will be for the side I'm on, but I'm almost out of grease. There you go. You got a little bit coming right here. Now I don't know. And I got some kickback right here. That don't look good. I need a new Zerk on that one. That shouldn't be kicking back. So I gotta replace that one, because it's kicking back grease. And that shouldn't be kicking back grease. But now it stopped. So I'm not gonna do that today, but that's something that I gotta be mindful of is that I need a new Zerk right here. But I got a couple things I gotta get to, so we'll come back to that. Throw one more thing of grease in here and do that other side of the base. And we are good to go at that point. So that's this is my third tube of grease. And so I mean, we'll probably go through 3.5 tubes a day, but again, this thing needed some love because it hadn't really been greased that well before it came here. So fully expected it to take more than normal, and I had to fill up that new line. But it ain't too bad. So 3.5 should do the job for today for what we focus on anyway. But yeah, yes sir, this is just part of taking care of business. So close that air pocket. And I'll do another video on just how to change your fitting, just because I need to get some stuff knocked out for the day. But you're gonna get a little greasy. You'll find that out very fast, but you will live. You will be all right. So we tested, and we got grease. Go grab that rag just because I'm got some dirt on the tip of this, and I would hate to push that in to one of my fittings. So as you can probably tell, I done had more than enough headaches clogging up fittings on the tractor, and don't want to do the same here. But we will throw some in this back section. I'm gonna put a little bit more in here on this side. No, that was spitting out, so we're gonna chill on that one, and then go over here. I just remembered I got to replace that. Go over here and watch this side. I hear pushing, I don't see it though. There she goes. So yeah. And that, my friends, is how we do it. So simple, painless, and easy. I didn't have to replace anything because it wasn't taking grease. I do got to replace one that and figure out how to organize this. So if you got any ideas or suggestions on, other than trying a little bit harder, ways that you have organized your toolbox on your excavator, please drop a comment below and let me know how you do it, because I need some help. I need some help keeping it all together. But yeah, my friends, this is how you keep your big girl greased and ready for action at all times. So I appreciate y'all watching. If this was helpful to you, please like the video, drop a comment below, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Remember, drink plenty of water, eat your greens, kiss your old lady twice a day, even when she's pissing you off, say your prayers, and everything else will fall in place. I guarantee. Until next time, see y'all later.